Hello and Merry Christmas to the Leon County Sheriff's Office family. First of all, let me thank you all for the great work you've done this year. I want each and every one of you to know how much we appreciate the great jobs you've done and how much we're looking forward to this coming year. Because of you, we've been able to lower our crime rate. We've been able to, in our detention facility, care for the custody and control of those persons in our care. And I know as we approach 2020 that you all will continue to do the great job you've always done. But this, quite honestly, is a time of year where we are so thankful for our family. And I want to let you all know how thankful I am to be a part of this great family. And on behalf of myself and the command staff, I want you to know how much we appreciate the great job you've done. Well, as we reach into and start to prepare for 2020, I want you to know that your command staff and your sheriff are working hard to make sure that you get the things that you need to do the job of keeping this community safe. In fact, we're going to do everything we can to make sure our hiring process is such that we get the very best people we can to come in and assist us with our great mission. To that extent, we're looking at changing our hiring process. We're in the process of talking about hiring persons who live outside of Leon County for both corrections officers, which we've done before, and now for our law enforcement deputies. We believe in doing this, we're able to reach out and bring in people with greater talents than perhaps we ever have before. But that's all in an effort to make sure we keep you safe. I think by now most of you are aware of the reorganization that we're embarked upon. That reorganization is being done primarily to make sure that we position ourselves effectively for the issues that will be faced in 2020. That means that we've reconstituted a number of our positions to make sure that we put more of our deputies and our corrections officers on the front line of our delivery system. We also are working to make sure that we have those systems in place that take care of the people working right here in the Leon County Sheriff's Office. We have changed the organizational structure. Some of you may know through the rumor mill that our undersheriff has decided that he's going to retire and work full-time on my campaign when I announced in January. With the undersheriff's decision, we're now able to change our structure somewhat, and we're moving from an undersheriff driven organization to what I call a two-bureau system. We are creating an assistant sheriff for operations and an assistant sheriff for support. And I don't know if I can see those or not. But basically, on the operations side, we'll have, you guys remember this, when I came in, Sheriff's Office, we had patrol and investigations under one chief. So we're going back to that configuration. On the operations side, we'll have a chief of youth services and a chief of patrol support. In patrol support, we will have all the support entities. In fact, this mirrors in some regards, not exactly, the input I received from Grady Jordan and from Wiley Meggs with respect to the goal being at some point having all of our SWAT units and all the members under this heading, but we can't do that today. We don't have the staffing to do it along with aviation. But we'll start the process of trying to move in that direction. And then on the correction side, we'll have an assistant sheriff for detentions and corrections, and we'll have a chief of detention, chief of judicial, and a director of reentry, and some other director. I can't make that one out. Director of facilities. These changes, one of the things we talked about a great deal, if you all remember, was trying to make sure that we communicated better. That from time to time there were lapses in communication. Sometimes that perhaps resonated in my office or came from me, I'm not sure. But we want to try this year in this plan to
put together a organizational chart, organizational leadership that allows us to communicate much more effectively. And that's why we put functional units together. In some instances, for example, some of you guys may have some problems with, as you look down here at the chief of staff position, I can't see it, but I know somewhere in there's the director of human resources. And under human resources and under the support chief of staff will be training. The training unit will report directly to a lieutenant and up through Ms. Nicholson, who is now our director of human resources, and up to the chief of staff. That's a change perhaps that some of you are not familiar with, haven't seen, very familiar with having civilian, particularly when you have the HR function. And what we're trying to do is to make it's simply not, when we're talking about training, training's not only a law enforcement function, training's about all of our employees. And under that, you will find that we will, and we'll talk about this some later today, our career development efforts. Some of you already know that I put a premium on making sure that we are poised to develop the careers of every employee here. Thank you. And we want to make sure that we can, through our training process, not only focus on our operations and our detention facility, but focus on all of our employees. Also, there we will spend a good bit of time talking about wellness as a part of our HR and training unit. Wellness, if you don't know it, is extremely important to me. We're going to do some, and I'll get to this slide later, but we will do some significantly different things as it relates to wellness in the Leon County Sheriff's Office. I know some of you are just getting this, and obviously I hope that your chiefs had a chance on yesterday. They only received it yesterday, and I hope they had a chance to share it with you. But if there are any questions about this, please see your chief or see me, and we'll talk in more detail.
We say often that you are, in fact, the most important asset that we have, and that is absolutely true. So, as your sheriff and as a member of your command staff and the entire command staff, I want to say to you, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, God bless you, God bless your family, and as always, we are all in.